In the blink of an eye, we went from waiting weeks for a letter to instantly connecting with billions. But do you know the wild story of how we got here? Did you know that the computer that guided Apollo 11 had less power than your calculator? Or the device you're watching this video on has more computing power than all of NASA had in 1969.
But here's the kicker. This century-and-a-half sprint from Morse code to memes is just the beginning.
Now, let's uncover the inventions that changed everything, the geniuses behind them, and the shocking twists that brought us to the age of TikTok and beyond. This video is literally 150 years in 10 minutes. Our wild ride from Telegraphs to TikTok. Because once you see how far we've come, you won't believe where we're headed next. In the time it takes you to watch this video, over 83,000 hours of content will be uploaded to YouTube. That's nearly 10 years worth of video in just 10 minutes. The Telegraph, when electricity outran horses. Imagine a world where news took weeks to travel. The year is 1844, and Samuel Morse has just sent the first telegraph message. What hath God wrought? Little did he know, he had just wrought a communication revolution. Before the telegraph, if you wanted to send a message across the country, you'd have to rely on the Pony Express. Riders would gallop day and night, changing horses every 10-15 miles. It was dangerous, expensive, and slow. But here's the kicker. The first transcontinental telegraph line made the Pony Express obsolete in just 2 days. 2 days to end an era of horse-powered communication. Let that sink in. The useless telephone revolution. It's 1876, and Alexander Graham Bell has just spoken the first words over a telephone. "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." But get this. People thought the telephone was just a useless toy. In fact, Western Union, the telegraph giant, passed on buying the telephone patent, calling it an electrical toy. Imagine their faces when, by 1900, there were nearly 600,000 phones in Bell's telephone system. Talk about a missed call, radio waves, from voices in the air to news in your living room. How did we go from voice-only communication to broadcasting to millions? Enter Guglielmo Marconi and his wireless telegraph. But it wasn't until 1920 that radio really hit the airwaves. Here's a shocker. The first radio news program was broadcast in 1920, changing how we consume information forever. Suddenly, families gathered around the radio like it was a campfire, hanging on every word of news, entertainment, and yes, even advertisements. Television takes over. When plywood boxes ruled the world.
Television won't be able to hold on to any market it captures after the first 6 months. People will soon get tired of staring at a plywood box every night. That was Daryl Zanuck, a 20th Century Fox executive, in 1946. Oh, how wrong he was. By 1960, a mere 20 years after its introduction, 90% of American homes had a TV. That's faster adoption than smartphones in our era.
The computer age, from room-sized calculators to desktop power. Let's jump to 1969. Neil Armstrong is about to take one small step for man on the moon. But here's something that'll blow your mind. The computer that guided Apollo 11 to the moon had less processing power than a modern calculator. The first general-purpose electronic computer, ENIAC, weighed 30 tons and took up a whole room. And get this. It had to be rewired for each new task. Imagine having to rebuild your laptop every time you wanted to open a new app. Internet explosion, when the world became a global village. How did we go from isolated computers to a global network? It all started with ARPANET in 1969, connecting just 4 computers. But here's a fun fact that'll make you rethink your email habits. The first email was sent in 1971, but the surprising fact is that the 8 symbol wasn't used until 1972. By 1995, 14% of Americans were surfing the information superhighway. The sound of dial-up modems became the anthem of a new era. Remember when you couldn't use the phone and internet at the same time? The smartphone revolution, the world in your pocket. Here's something to wrap your head around. Your smartphone has more computing power than all of NASA had in 1969. That's right. The device you use to scroll through cat videos could have sent us to the moon. But not everyone saw the potential. In 2007, Steve Ballmer, Microsoft's CEO, claimed there was no chance the iPhone would gain significant market share. Fast forward to today, and there are more mobile devices than people on Earth. Social media takeover, from 6 degrees to TikTok. Prepare to have your mind blown. There are now more social media users than there were people on Earth in 1971. But social media isn't as new as you might think. Actually, the first social media site, 6 Degrees, was created in 1997, long before Facebook or Twitter. It's turned everyday people into global influencers and given voice to movements that have changed the world. The AI and VR future. Welcome to the Matrix. What if computers could think like humans and we could step into virtual worlds? Well, we're closer than you might think. By 2030, AI is expected to contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy. That's more than the current output of China and India combined. Virtual and augmented reality are no longer science fiction. From gaming to education, from healthcare to space exploration, these technologies are reshaping our world in ways we're only beginning to understand. But here's the million-dollar question. What unimaginable technologies will our great-grandchildren be using? Will we be teleporting, communicating telepathically, living in space? So there you have it. From Telegraphs to TikTok, we've come further than anyone could have imagined. We've gone from waiting weeks for news to live streaming our lives, from room-sized computers to AI in our pockets, from black and white TV to virtual worlds. In just 150 years, we've increased our communication speed by a factor of millions. We've connected billions of people, put libraries worth of information at our fingertips, and created virtual worlds that rival reality. But here's the thing. We're just getting started. The pace of innovation is accelerating. What seems cutting edge today might be obsolete tomorrow. So, what blew your mind? The 2-day death of the Pony Express? The wooden computer mouse? Or the fact that your phone could outcompute 1969 NASA? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve and witness the next technological revolutions as they happen, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this journey, it's this. The future always arrives faster than we expect, and it's always more amazing than we could have imagined. This has been 150 years in 10 minutes or less, our wild ride from Telegraphs to TikTok. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the future.